Hello to my mystic monologue. I'm fixing the mic so that it's a bit closer to me. Uh, Today I want to talk about expression or self-expression, um, which is which is something I value a lot, and it means a lot to me, and it's important to me. And it took me some while to realize that, even to know that it is a thing. Uh, So I'm going to talk a bit about it uh, as a form of self-expression as well. I'll try to keep this video short because I think I could talk for hours about this topic. But this is really just one of the first dives into this topic, or like an overview, and I can have many more videos in the future about this. Um, so one thing I want to start with is basically self-expression is not something you do. Like, you cannot not do it. Uh, that was a really funny contradiction, but I still think both sentences are right. So what I mean is that you always express yourself. There's no way not to express yourself. For example, if I don't tell anything, I still expressed myself just by existing, basically. And like in the past, I thought self-expression is like poetry, music, speaking, even a movement. But self-expression is so much more. Your decisions express who you are, who you talk with, who your friends are, what clothes you choose, how you groom your body, like how you wear your hair. Um, Everything is an expression of yourself. So actually, if you think about the word expression, means like to bring something from the inside to the outside, sort of a pressure. Pressure not in the psychological sense, but like the physical sense. Um, so expression is bringing something from the inside to the outside. So as a conclusion, how you express yourself tells we can hopefully deduce something about the inside. What we see on the outside, we can deduce something from the inside. And one example I always have is like, if you feel chaotic or unhappy or messy inside, it's likely that your room will look messy as well. So your room being messy is an expression of your inner mess, for lack of a better word. Um, that's expression. A very interesting thing is that, of course, the outside also has an impact on you. Being in a messy room will invoke some feelings or some reaction in you. Uh, Probably being in a messy room will like resonate with messy things inside you. So if you stay in a messy room, it's a vicious cycle where the messy room invokes more messy feelings in you, which uh, makes you express that messy feeling more by having a more messy room. um, that's sort of a impression. I'm focusing on the expression part in this video. So that's the first realization I want to share. Basically, everything about you that we can observe or somehow perceive is an expression of yourself. And of course, the perception has a filter. We cannot perceive perfectly what you express. Even if you say one word, we have connotations with that word. If you move your body in a way, we interpret it in some way. It invokes some feelings in us too. So there's like a filter, but let's assume your expression can be perceived purely, in a pure way. So there's no such filter when we perceive it. And I think that, so then there's again a spectrum where a spectrum between purposefully and like unintentionally or unpurposely. I don't know the English words. Let's say intentionally and unintentionally. You can express yourself with intention. Right now, I am recording a video. I'm not 100% intentional about everything that I do right now, but what I say and when I move my hands, when I move, sometimes when I have like a gesture or a mime, it is intentional. But maybe the clothes I wear right now, it's not really intentional. Like I just wore this shirt today, so I like it. It's an expression of myself, but it has nothing to do with this video. So you can intentionally express yourself and unintentionally express yourself. So together with the first conclusion, at least we express ourselves 100% unintentionally. That's one spectrum. And the other end of the spectrum is one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is we express ourselves 100% intentionally. I am looking at the clock. It's already 7 minutes. I wanted to keep this short, so I think I have to give up that dream. I'm just getting started. So I think one goal that is worthwhile to to be ambitious for, so trying to striving for that goal, is to be 100% intentional in the way that you express yourself. I think it's not possible, but it's like a North Star. It's something we can strive for. So we can become more conscious about our expressions. There's this saying, speaking is silver, silence is gold. So in German it's Reden ist Silber, Schweigen ist Gold, which means speaking is good, it's like decent, but being silent is better. It's great. And it means like sometimes don't talk too much. I'm doing a bad job of this right now. But you might have heard this in other ways where like some people will talk a lot, they will say a lot of words, but they will not say anything of substance. Whereas if you're in a conversation, maybe with multiple people, and you're listening and you're not speaking a lot, that is a show of character and also of leadership and wisdom. And at the end of the conversation, you might say 1 or 2 sentences to really wrap things up and pull out the essence and so on. So someone who conducts themselves in such a way is very intentional about how they express themselves. Even being silent is an expression, right? But it's somehow a lighter way of expressing yourself than using words. Yeah. Another big aspect about expression that I really love is if I just think about myself or one person in a vacuum. So it's not about social interaction, it's about one person. Expression, intentional expression helps you, as I described before, to express something that is in the inside, to bring it to the outside. So what I found, and I prepared my satire here. So I published a few satire videos today, 2 videos, and this thought came to me when I played this song. I will not play it now, I will just link to the video. I just wanna show off my beautiful satire that I really love. I was playing a song from a region called Lorestan, so it's a Lori song, a region in Iran, and it invoked a certain feeling in me, like a very distinct, specific feeling. And I got in touch with this feeling while playing the song. I know this experience from writing poetry. There are some poets that, let's say, they are like 5 paragraphs, and at the time I was writing this poem, I was just expressing one very specific feeling I had, and it took me like 10 minutes, and then at the end I was saying, yes, this poem describes the feeling I have. And this is why I could write it so fast, because it was just this feeling. There are other poems that I need to write over the course of like weeks or even months, and it is a more like crafted poem. It has more like it refers to a specific memory, or there's a certain statement that I want to make. But these kind of poems are different, where it's just a feeling, and I express that feeling. So I have two like similar experiences. One is playing the song, and one is writing the poem, which fits like 100% to the specific feeling. And from this experience, I learned the way we express ourselves, it's a way to express our feeling, of course. Yeah. But I think one person in a vacuum, of course, earlier in their life they had some experiences outside of the vacuum. But then you put that person in a vacuum and you still give them air. Then I think it is extremely valuable for that person to just express themselves. They could just talk for days, or they could play the sitar for days, or they could draw or move their body. Find different ways to express the feelings that are inside. And just that by itself, I think, is the most valuable thing I can think of. If we assume that a person has like their physical needs covered, like food, shelter, they don't need to be afraid of the cold, that they get sick. The ability to express yourself is extremely valuable. Like, I'm so grateful that we have it. I'm so grateful that it exists. And in the essence, this is what art is, right? I used to think creativity means to be creative, to me, like to have original and unique ideas in very difficult situations. I thought that that's what creativity means. But creativity means the ability, or even the act of creating something. So you don't need to be a creative person. You don't need to be very like, you don't need to be able to handle tricky situations to create something. You can just create something right now. Like, it's so simple. But somehow I didn't think about it like this. To me, creating something was difficult, because I made it up in my mind that you need to be like, you need to have a lot of fantasy, for example. So just to wrap up this video, I think I will do another format which is like much longer. But basically, one point I want to leave you with in this video is expression, self-expression has a meaning in itself. It has value and a purpose in itself, which is to express a feeling in the inside, from the inside to the outside. And basically, I want to see the world express themselves. I want to express myself like with as much focus and energy as I'm able to put into just expressing myself. And one good way I found to do that is to explore all the different ranges of formats and media we have. Using your voice, using your hands, using your body. Doing a certain kind of sport is an expression. Moving your body is an expression. Playing an instrument, writing, singing, clapping, dancing, fashion. What else? The food you eat, cooking. Everything that you can think of where you use the tools that you have, which is your mind, your body. I, I think I forgot something. Your feelings. Um, if you use any of this to express something from the inside to the outside, find a way to do it and do it. On a higher level, even, as I said, your choices are an expression of yourself. So when you make a choice, one strategy is to forget everything about like any calculations or like pro and contra lists. Simply choose what is an expression of yourself in that moment. Yeah. And I wish to live my life this way. I'm more and more moving into this direction. I hope to see the world living, like everyone in this world, to live their life in this way. And there's one caveat though, which is you need to respect the boundaries of other beings, like this earth, the plants, the animals, and humans in your self-expression. So at first you can just start express yourself for your own, for yourself. For years I was writing my poems just on a piece of paper or a notebook. I wasn't showing this to anyone, and it had so much value already. That's what I mean with expression has an inherent value and purpose. And over time, naturally, you will get more excited. Your friends might ask. For example, now I'm sending my satire videos to my friends and family or on Twitter, and I'm getting responses, which is amazing. Like, but it's a whole other world. This is then again about impression and expression and feedback, and it's a flow of energy, a flow of ideas and thoughts. And this world is amazing, and I would love to dive more into this in another video. But even before we step into those interactions, the expression itself is amazing. So, but it is something you need to keep in mind to respect the boundaries of others. I haven't figured this out for myself quite yet, because so far most of my expressions are like on my own blog page or my own YouTube channel. I have read some poetry in front of other people before, and it is very different. And I am going to publish a poem collection this year, which is incredibly amazing and anxiety inducing. But I'm really, really happy about it. So, yeah, I'm looking at the clock. It's 19 minutes. I think I covered a lot of what I wanted, and I'm happy. I still need to figure out different formats for these monologues, but I hope you got something out of this, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope to see you again.